Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little bit of a hiatus for me over the last 9 days or so, 9 or 10 days. I was enjoying a vacation in South Carolina with my family and my grandparents. It was a beach trip that we had planned for March of 2020, and then it got pushed a couple of times, and so we finally were able to get a weekend this past week, just before Thanksgiving. So I'm happy to be um, back home here, getting ready for the Thanksgiving holiday. Now, this is a video I didn't know I was going to make until I saw that yesterday, which was the um, release date, it was the anniversary of two Beatles albums, one of which was with the Beatles, and the other was the White Album, also what's actually called The Beatles. It's a self-titled album. So what I thought I would do, much like I did with the anniversary of the first Tom Petty record, which was, I believe, my last video, is I thought I would rank the 14 songs on With the Beatles and to kind of commemorate that anniversary. So, without further ado, let me jump in. Of course, this is the famous cover work. Um, this is the 2009 remaster that came out under the supervision of George Martin. So this is the UK pressing. So without further ado, let me just knock out these 14 songs. And again, this was the second album by the Beatles in the UK. A lot of these songs were cover songs that they had been playing in the club scene in the early 60s. So a lot of these songs are covers. However, they're very good covers. And actually, a lot of these covers are in my top five. Actually, three out of my top five are covers. So, as you can tell, the Beatles were still coming into their own as songwriters. And yeah, so let me just jump right in with that being said. Number 14 is Not a Second Time, which was a Lennon McCartney track. Um, Never one that's stood out to me. It's on the second side. It's the second to last song. Um, a John Lennon vocal. Just it's not a very deep song, and it's not one that you know when I'm like listing out Beatles songs, like that one never pops in my mind. So that's my number 14. Number 13, Devil in Her Heart, which is a really good song. Um, George Harrison. Um, it's just a really good. She's got the devil in her heart, but her eyes they telling lies. It's just a really good song. Um, just it's a cover, but it's a Beatles cover, so it's good. Number 12, Little Child, which shows off John Lennon's harmonica playing. It's kind of like a call and response with the harmonica. It's like they go, little child, little child, it's got great harmony. Paul and John could really harmonize well together. They were big fans of the Everly Brothers, and that kind of harmony really shows on this song, which again is not one that I think about much when I think about the Beatles catalog. Number 11 is the second song on the album, All I've Gotta Do, which is a really neat little drum beat by Ringo. Again, it's another Lennon McCartney original, but great vocal by John. And again, I like all these songs, but it's a great song, but it's not one that is up there for me in their catalog. But again, it's got great drumming by Ringo. John, whenever and then Ringo just he can stop the drum and then come back into it. Really great drummer, Ringo, very underrated. Number 10 is the last song on the album. It's a cover of the Bradford and Gordy song, Money, That's What I Want. It was a Motown song. Um, the original is fantastic. The Beatles their version's right there with the original. Killer vocals by John. Um, just great, like screaming vocals. The best things in life are free. It's really good. It's the Beatles, singing more of their influences, just like they did in these on their first two albums, especially, and then again on Beatles for Sale. So it's a great cover, and it'll be one that when the Beatles, I think if the Beatles had ever gotten together, I feel like that's a song that John would have wanted to keep in the set list, just because he was so good on the vocals. Number 9 is "Hold Me Tight." I always loved how that song almost started immediately into it. It was just like boom, 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 boom. It feels so right now. Hold me tight. And then Paul, tell me I'm the only one. Great, great singing. You know, the call and response. So hold me tight, me tight. Um, just really good. You can tell it's Lennon McCartney. Um, Trying to write like some of those 50s singers, and it kind of has a Fats Domino kind of piano, I think, ish. And of course Paul was a big Fats Domino fan. He wrote Lady Madonna with Fats Domino in mind. Number 8 is the only Ringo vocal on the album. It's "I Want to Be Your Man," which is a really rocking song. That great intro, just that, it's so neat how it starts. That's very unlike the times how that song starts with just the "I want to be," and the great percussion. You can hear like the shakers. "I want to be a man," and of course the Beatles had given the song to the Rolling Stones, who kind of bluesed it up a little bit, and they had a pretty big hit with it. So, um, no matter what you say about the Beatles or the Stones, they both respected each other. I mean, the Beatles were able to give the Stones this song, which under normal circumstances for the Beatles would have been a throwaway, because usually their Ringo songs, for the most part, were throwaway songs that they thought, oh, we would better throw Ringo a bone. Kind of how the personalities were with those types of songs. But it's a great song. I've seen Ringo perform it live. It's still a classic in his songbook. So that's my number 8. Um, "Don't Bother Me." This is the first time we see a George Harrison composition pop up. I know George never really cared for the song. He was a very young man, 20 years old, when this song was written, maybe even 19. I'm not sure. I'm not a Beatles expert. But I think it's a great song. I mean, again, the Beatles often threw away their what they considered to be filler songs, but I love George Harrison, and I love his young voice in this thick accent. "Don't bother me." You can tell he sounds maybe a little bit nervous doing his own song, but I'm sure he didn't mind some of those royalty checks when they started coming in, because his name was the only one on the song. So "Don't Bother Me," a great little George Harrison song. Number 6 is another George Harrison vocal, "Roll Over Beethoven." Um, Chuck Berry song, of course. Um, Later, ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, would cover this song quite often in concert. They still do. Jeff Lynne, who also became friends with George Harrison in the 80s, started singing this song a lot. But it's just it's a brilliant song. Um, to me, this is the definitive version. I mean, I love Chuck Berry's, but the Beatles were the first ones that I heard, and then that's kind of how a lot of these songs were. Is I heard the Beatles do it first, and then I went back in time, kind of, and listened to the originals. And when I heard Chuck Berry's, I was like, I like George's vocal a little bit better. But that might just be me. Don't attack me in the comments. So that's number 6, "Roll Over Beethoven," which means we're into our top 5. Top number 5 is another cover, "Please Mr. Postman," which is again another one of those Motown songs, girl group song. Just a great, how it starts just immediately. "Wait, oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman, wait." And they changed the pronoun to make it about a girl instead of a guy, because again, it was a girl group that did it first. Um, and just great. I love to hear George Harrison singing in the background really high. "Since I've heard from this gal of mine," like, just he's right up there. Him and Paul singing the background vocals. It's just a great song about waiting to get a letter from the girl that they love. So it's just a great song. Number 4, beautiful version. It's Smokey Robinson song. "You Really Got a Hold on Me." I loved the song the first time I heard it, and the Beatles were the first ones that I heard do it. And then I went back and started listening to Smokey Robinson. Then I started getting into Smokey Robinson's deep cuts because I didn't know anything about Smokey Robinson really until I started listening to the Beatles. So that's just one of the beauties of music, especially the Beatles, who, wholeheartedly um, gave their peers, recognition, and they did Smokey Robinson and the Miracles justice with this song. Just a beautiful vocal by John. He almost sounds like he's crying. Great background vocals by the other boys. So that's my number 4. Number 3 is the opening track on the album, It Won't Be Long, which is a killer opener. I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, that's a great song. It's a killer rocker. Great vocals by John, screaming vocals, and Paul singing harmonies, the high harmonies. The album just starts, it won't be long yet, and it just kills it into it. Fantastic. It's a great song. I love it to death. So that's my number 3. Number 2 is the Meredith Willson composition from the musical The Music Man, sung beautifully by Paul McCartney, Till There Was You. And I just think it's a beautiful song. I've tried 100 different ways to try to learn it on guitar. Just beautiful classical playing on that by George. And it's just one of those songs, beautiful. And Paul could sing anything. Paul had a beautiful voice. I mean, what was he, 21 when this album came out? So to have a voice that mature and pure was just so special. And just beautiful lyrics. I gotta give Meredith Willson the credit on the lyrics for this song. It's just a beautiful song, and I fell in love with it. I remember listening to it as a kid over and over and over and over and over again. This song, just finding different versions and looking up Paul doing it live. I love it. So that's my number 2, which, if you're keeping score at home, that of course leaves probably the biggest hit on the album, All My Lovin', which we often associate with the Ed Sullivan Show performance. It sounds like Beatlemania. I mean, Beatlemania was about to kick into the United States. It's beautiful vocals by Paul. The bass playing is phenomenal. The like the harmonic guitar playing, just George going like just kind of like playing it like almost like a 4-string ragtime banjo player kind of. But I mean, you all know the song, close your eyes, and I love those songs when they start without music. It's just the voice. Close your eyes, and I'll kiss you. It's just a great Beatles song, and it rounds out my 14 from the album. So that's my number 1 off of With the Beatles. Let me know what your favorites are. I know these change all the time. I know I did a list several months ago, and I'm sure it looked much different than this one. So there you have it. Happy anniversary to With the Beatles, and to the White Album. I didn't do a video for the White Album. It might be, maybe one day I might do a video about all the songs in the White Album, but I thought I would mention it, but recognize With the Beatles in particular for its 58th anniversary. So thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to all my new subscribers. And I will talk to you all very, very soon, hopefully with a new video. Take care.